Greetings from buildingthefreshers.com. Building the Freshers is an initiative launched to make a lot of difference to freshers and young professionals. The reason is today's organizations, they don't want employees anymore, they want champions. And buildingthefreshers.com is taking a lot of initiatives towards build champion mindset in freshers and young professionals. And I feel extremely glad to share with you that we are joining hands with V School to bring you thought-provoking presentations and insights on various topics. To give you a brief introduction about me, my name is R.M. Saravanan. I was associated with corporate world for almost 17 years and I was in the field for 14 years doing sales and sales management. I almost worked in 5 states and 2 union territories before taking up a pan-India responsibility in training and development. So this makes me competent enough to take this particular job, particular presentation on new way of handling objections. You may be in sales department, you may be in marketing, you may be in HR, you may be in distribution, you may be in logistics, you may be in administration, but objections are there everywhere, right? So objections are not only in selling. Objections are, you may have an objection in the meeting, you may present an idea and your boss may reject it. There is an objection. Okay, you may want to convince the other department for a new initiative, but the department heads may say that okay, no, it is not possible, there is an objection. So whichever department you are in, I think I assure you that this presentation will give you new insights on how to handle objections, because handling objection is a whole topic, but what we are going to discuss today, new way of handling objection, is going to bring you a lot of innovative ideas on how to handle it. So I think let us move forward, let us explore together what is this new way of handling objection is all about. I am making a statement here, objections are everywhere. Objections are everywhere, it's not only in business, not only in office, not only in customers, objections are everywhere. In fact, objections are at home also. For example, you want a cup of water, okay, you ask your children to bring the cup of water, the child says, I'm busy, I can't bring it. There is an objection. And you ask your wife to come to your relative's place and she says, okay, last month you didn't come to my relative, I will not come to your relative's place. There is an objection. Okay, everywhere I'm telling you, with your parents, with your children, with your friends, okay, there is always an objection. You want to tell your friend, I think let us go for this hill station for this holiday. Your friend says that no, I don't want to come. You tell your friend, I will join you on your bike, wait for 10 more minutes. He says that I cannot wait for you. There is an objection everywhere. Okay, but only thing is, what I want to share with you is, we know how to handle objection in our personal life, but we find difficult to handle while dealing with customers. What happens when a child doesn't bring you water? You cajole the child. Child, okay, I will get you chocolate. Please go and get me water. You handle it very simple way. Okay. Similarly, when your wife is not coming to a relative's place, you tell a wife that okay, last month I was busy. That is the reason I couldn't come to your relative's place. I assure you that next month I will come. Please join me. Let us be there only for 30 minutes and come back. We know how to handle objections in our personal life, but what happens, we find difficult to handle while dealing with customers. Let us understand why. Do you know why we are fairly successful in handling objections in our personal life? Because the first reason is we accommodate others' point of view, others' preference. There is a fact, we accommodate others' point of view and others' preference. For example, consider that you go and tell your friend, I think let us go for movie X. Your friend says that, no, let us go for movie Y. What happens, normally what happens is, you say that, no, I already have a tickets for movie X. Let us go this week to movie X, next week probably we'll go to movie Y. You convince him. Otherwise what happens is, you tell him, okay, let us go for movie Y, probably tomorrow we'll go for movie X. There's no issue. Okay, the reason is you are accommodating his request. You're not rejecting. You're not saying, going and saying movie Y is bad, movie X is great. You're not getting into all those things. You are accommodating his request. That is the reason you are able to handle objections in a very simple way, in an easier way in our personal life. But what happens while dealing with customers? When customer says, when we say this is the advantage of this product, customer says, I don't think so, I prefer product B. Immediately we get into a lot of logic, we get into a lot of argument, we get into a lot of discussion, we get into a lot of theory. We keep saying, no sir, it is not like this. Our product has this advantages because of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons. So we are accommodating his requests. Understand, we are accommodating the request of a friend, of a spouse, of our children, but we are not accommodating the rest of our customer. That is the reason his ego is hurt and he doesn't get converted, he doesn't get convinced. So first lesson is, whatever a customer says, you don't need to agree to him, but respect his opinion, accommodate his request, okay? Then we will be able to handle objections in a better way. The second reason why we handle objection in a better way in a personal life is, we are interested in achieving the core objective rather than convincing on our point of view. In personal life, what happens is, we are not interested in convincing on our point of view, we are interested in achieving the core objective. Let us take an example. I mentioned here mother-child. Say, consider mother want to prepare brinjal in the morning for the child. The child says that, no, I don't want brinjal. So the mother doesn't sit on a mission brinjal and saying that, no, brinjal is very good, brinjal is healthy, you must take brinjal. No, mother keeps very simple. Okay, you want tomato? I will prepare a tomato and gives tomato, because a mother's objective is not to only make the child eat brinjal. The mother's objective is to actually help the child eat healthy food. So that is the reason we are able to convince the objection very easily at home, and after some time probably the child may get convinced on brinjal also. So what happens while dealing with customer? We keep arguing with them that when he says this feature is not good, we keep arguing with him, no sir, I think this feature is very right, but that is not the fact. Okay, probably if he is not convinced with the feature, let us move on to the next feature. See, every customer need not get convinced with all the features. So let him move on to the next feature, otherwise let us move on to the next product. There is no point in arguing with a customer. So let us understand a very important lesson on how we deal objections in our personal life. First of all, we accommodate others' point of view. Let us be very clear, we must accommodate customers' point of view. Let us respect customers' opinion. Second is, we are interested in achieving the core objective. Yes, our objective is to sell our products, sell our organization, promote our organization, market the image of the organization, and sell our services, right? Then there is no point in arguing on one feature. If he is not convinced of one feature, let us move on. So the moment we move on, I think probably later point of time, you may get convinced with this feature also. So this is the first lesson we need to learn about objections. In personal life, as we discussed, we deal objections in a simple way. We keep it very simple, okay? But while selling, we complicate it. That is the reason we get a lot of resistance both inside the organization as well as outside the organization, because we don't accommodate. Even not only in sales, consider an organization, you communicate something to your team says, no, this doesn't work out in the field. So we get into a discussion of convincing the team, arguing why it is right. No, accommodate the request, respect the opinion, okay, and let us see together how we can achieve the core objective. So let us not complicate objections anymore. Do you know what is the most common but most ineffective way of handling objections? The most common way of handling objection, most ineffective way is, we try to convince them through a lot of logic. Whenever customer gives an objection, we give logic. So logic number A, so logic number B, so logic number 3. Logic, we always have a logic 5, 6 logic with us, and we keep presenting a logic, but understand what he basically is, a human being, he wants respect. So first respect his opinion and let us get into convincing more. So let us not use logic. Logic is the most ineffective way to handle an objection.